Hello, Jilma ma'am.
Hello.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Yeah, good afternoon. Am I audible?
Yeah, it's audible, ma'am.
Okay. Because I'm on the mobile network, so
It's okay,
I'm
okay.
yeah. So if there is some delay, do let me know.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So you're having my
Ma'am,
PPT, right?
yeah, I'm having the PPT, ma'am. We'll
Okay.
share it and we'll also change the slides. No issues, ma'am.
Pardon? I didn't hear correctly.
Jilma ma'am, we are having your slides. So
Okay.
we'll share your slides and we'll also change the presentations.
Okay. Okay. Fine. Yeah. So shall we start or we have to wait for
Sir,
two
ma'am,
more
just a
minutes?
couple of minutes we'll
Okay.
wait
Okay. Fine. Yeah.
because principal and the HOD has to join.
Okay. Okay. Fine. Yeah.
Okay. Sure, ma'am. Hello, good afternoon, sir.
Ma'am, good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon, sir. Resource person has joined right now, sir.
Okay, ma'am. Our principal has joined, ma'am.
No, principal hasn't joined it,
Oh,
so we are
just
just waiting for it, sir.
I'll ask to join, ma'am. Okay.
Sure, sir, sure. Hello, good afternoon, sir.
Ma'am, good afternoon.
Sir has
Principal,
joined.
sir,
Principal sir
joined,
has
ma'am?
joined. Yes, sir has joined.
Okay, ma'am. Shall we start, ma'am? Sir, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. You can start.
Okay, sir. Okay. Thank you, sir. Okay, sir. Okay.
Coming together is a beginning, keeping together is a progress, working together is a success. A pleasant afternoon to one and all connected here. I'm Amina and my friend Jivita extend a very cordial welcome to one and all on behalf of our IIC, EDC and BMAC for the session on achieving problem solution fit and product market fit. Let your unique awesomeness and positive energy inspire confidence in others. Here comes Jivita, a final year MD, to deliver the welcome address.
A cheerful morning to one and all present here. It's my pleasure to welcome you all on this session. First, I cordially welcome our beloved secretary and correspondent, Thiru S.T. Chandrasekhar sir, who always believes that the future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. Next, I delightfully welcome our respected principal, Dr. M. Jayaraman sir, who always inspires us to achieve success in this world. Next, I gladly welcome our Dean, Professor P. Jayachandra sir, who is a source of constant encouragement and support. I feel grateful to welcome our respected head of the department, Dr. V. Chandrasekharan sir, who always shows motherly love and gives fatherly confidence. Your endless care, guidance, and support prove that you are a great leader. Next, I heartily welcome our honorable chief guest, Ms. Jilma, founder and CEO of Kozhnosys PVT Limited, Pune, Maharashtra. I cordially welcome the coordinators of IIC, EDC, and BMESI. And finally, my wholehearted welcome to all the HODs, faculty, and students of VELALAR College of Engineering and Technology for this session. Thank you.
Thank you, Jivita, for your warm welcome. Try not to become a person of success, but rather try to become a person of values. Now, I request our respected principal, Dr. M. Jayaraman sir, to facilitate the gathering.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Respected chief guest of this function, Ms. Jilma. Respected head of the department, Medical Electronics, Dr. Chandrasekhar. Coordinator, Institution Innovation Council, Dr. Vanjanathan. Coordinator, EDC, Dr. Alai Chelvi. Members of the Medical Electronics Engineering Association and IAC and EDC, and my dear students. Good afternoon. It's my pleasure to participate myself with this session on achieving product solution fit and product market fit, delivered by the Jilma co-founder and CEO. We are very much grateful to her for accepting our invitation and sharing her thoughts with our students. Definitely, it will be very useful for the students at this juncture, because we are all focusing on innovation, skill development. So the student should observe keenly and deliberate with her, and definitely that will be useful for your future, because we are always producing the job seekers, but we have to produce job givers. So one such personality is Jilma, is a co-founder and CEO, and he is running a very good company. And definitely, so what are all the nuances in starting a company and running, and what should be the requirement at this contemporary world. So definitely the students will benefit out of this session. I congratulate each and everyone members who joined in this session. Once again, on behalf of VELALAR College of Engineering Technology, we are very much grateful to Ms. Jilma. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your wonderful speech. The key to growth is the introduction of higher dimensions of consciousness into our awareness. Now, I invite Rajkumari of third year MDE to introduce our chief guest.
A warm welcome and a pleasant afternoon to everyone gathered here. It is a great honor for me to introduce and welcome our chief guest, Ms. Jilma Peruvangat, founder and CEO at Kozhnosys PVT Limited, Pune, Maharashtra. She accomplished her undergraduate degree in Biomedical Instrumentation Engineering at Avinashi Lingam Institute for Home Science and Higher Education for Women and compassed her postgraduate degree, Master of Technology in Bioscience and Engineering at Defense Institute of Advanced Technology, DU-DRDO. She worked as a medical equipment service engineer in Larsen and Turbo from October 2009 to October 2010, sales engineer for 3D 4D ultrasound machines in Philips Healthcare from March 2011 to August 2011, junior R&D engineer in Medix Technologies Private Limited from March 2012 to June 2012, biomedical engineer in Fortis Healthcare from June 2012 to September 2013. At present, she is the co-founder and CEO at Kozhnosys Private Limited, Pune, Maharashtra. Thank you.
Thank you, Rajkumari. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome our chief guest, Ms. Jilma Peruvangat, founder and CEO, Kozhnosys Private Limited, to start the session on the topic Achieving Problem Solution Fit and Product Market Fit.
Hi, thank you so much for this warm welcome, and thank you so much, Jairam sir, for this wonderful speech and warm welcome. And I'm very excited to interact with the students and inspire them to be the job givers. Okay, so currently I do have some issues. So Abita will be presenting my presentation, and I'll just explain, these slides. So, startup is the buzzword currently, and India is one of the biggest startup hub, the third biggest startup hub in the world currently. So, so we can start with the presentation. If we can go to the next slide. Hello.
Just a
Abhita,
minute, ma'am. Just a minute.
Yeah.
Abhita ma'am.
Just sir, we are working. We'll start now.
So, till the technical issue is solved, I can, just give an introduction about what we are doing. So, we are one of the first companies who are making a breath analyzer for disease detection, and we are currently focusing on developing a breath analyzer for screening of breast cancer. And so, our company was started in 2017, and just like like any other engineer, I just had a technical background, and we thought that we can make something as fast as possible, but it has actually took us long years to make a device that is that could be launched in the market. So it is not a very easy task, but perseverance is what matters the most. And so you have to believe in yourself and keep working if you want to be a successful entrepreneur. So, just to know, so you might have attended other sessions by other startups, right? So, you might be having a general idea of what a startup is and all, right? If any of the students could answer.
Ma'am, just a minute. We lost the connection. We'll make it within 2 minutes. Please.
Okay, okay. Yeah, no problem, no problem.
By the time a student can give the answer,
Yeah, so I can see Jeevita, so let me ask Jeevita itself. So, so have you attended any other sessions about startup?
Yes, ma'am, we have attended few sessions.
Okay, okay. And there are a lot of student competitions also currently. So I think there is IIT Bombay, uh, Eureka, one student startup program is there, startup competitions there. IIT Madras also has one. So, it will be really good, if people who are interested can participate in this. And it actually gives a lot of exposure on, how to work in a startup and how to go along with, if you have an idea, how to take it forward. So it will be very nice to actually, get involved and apply for these competitions. So, you'll be able to pitch to experts and all, and they'll give you comments. So it's always good that you look out for such, competitions and apply for those competitions. Okay, so everybody is from the biomedical department, right?
From medical electronics, ma'am.
Medical electronics. Okay, fine.
Yes, ma'am.
And ma'am,
So,
EDC members also, ma'am.
okay, okay, great. So, so currently India is a very booming market, and I should say that you are at the, right place at the right time. So
Yes,
you people are going to be, India is going to be the medical hub in a decade's time. So this
yeah.
is the right
Yes,
time
ma'am.
to actually,
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, ma'am.
yeah, it's the best time for medical electronics engineer actually.
one query is from Dr. Jayaraman. Hello.
Hello. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Madam, students are studying two branches here. One is
Okay.
biomedical engineering, another is medical electronics.
Okay.
And what are all the opportunities for them? Because we used
Yes.
to tell that a lot of companies are there.
Yeah, so currently, earlier there used to be just very few companies, mostly companies from outside India,
Yes,
like Philips, Siemens, and all that. But currently, with the boost from the government, there is a lot of medical companies who are coming up, like ours, or there are like a lot of startups who are coming up with new solutions. So there is a great opportunity for medical engineers in India currently. And government has funded a lot of medical innovation hubs are also there. There is a big innovation center at Hyderabad. So all over the country, it is booming. So this is the best time for the best uh, time for a medical engineer to actually look for the job. So one is startups are there, then there are like lot of pharma companies are there, and other than that, many, so all the medical companies currently in India are in the startup phase only, but startups with good, good revenue. And also, if I can tell, there are many companies. So, if they can contact me, I can give
okay,
them
thank you, madam. Because
details. Yeah.
the student must know because it's an
Yes, yes,
emerging field
yes,
and a lot of avenues are there in this area. But down the line, 10 years, as you
yes,
said,
yes.
medical industry itself very high growth.
Yes, yeah, it is booming currently in India.
Okay, madam, you
So,
can.
yeah, any of these innovation hubs also, they all support medical engineers. So there will be a lot of job opportunities in whatever medical hubs that are coming up. Then definitely, hospitals has always been there. There is requirement of a biomedical engineer in hospitals.
Yes, yes, madam.
And
Thank you, madam.
yeah.
You carry on, madam.
Yes, yes, fine. Yeah. So, I think I already told. So currently, my company is called Kozhnosys, and I've been working on this for past 5 years. So everybody must be well aware of Netflix, right? Yeah. So Netflix co-founder Reed Hastings said that most entrepreneurial ideas will sound crazy, stupid, and uneconomic, and then they'll turn out to be right. So if anybody tells you that what idea you have, it's not going to work, you should not listen to them. Just believe in yourself, and you should, start pursuing in whatever you believe in. So next slide. Yeah. So any startup or any business, it is very important that we understand the basics. So, basics of any business is money. You have to have some money in your hand, which is normally called as capital. So you put this capital in your company or in your business or in, whatever you want to start. You put this money in that, and then you make money out of it. So if you put like 1 rupee, then you earn 10 rupees. Out of this, let's say, 5 rupees is your profit. Then you put that 5 rupees again in your company, then you earn 15 rupees. So again, your, profit is 10 rupees. So like that, you keep on growing. And then, when you have enough profit, then you can expand, you can build a big business. So this is the, basics of business. You have to have money. You have to put that money in your company, and then you should keep on getting money out of it. Yeah, next slide. The second basic. So, there should be, how will you make this money? By selling something. And how will you sell it? There should be somebody who will be buying it from you. So you sell something to someone, they'll give you money, and you make some profit out of it. This is the second basics of business. So everything what I tell henceforth is based on this basics. Okay. Next slide. Okay. So I told you idea. So idea is the backbone of any startup. There can be different n number of ideas. Okay. So first, what idea means is that what you will be selling. The basics, as I told you, you should sell something. Okay. Next, who will buy this from you? Okay. You want to find out who is the customer for, whatever you're selling. Third, and how much money you will make out of it. Okay. So this is what an idea means. What you're going to sell, who's going to buy it, and how much money you will make by selling that idea. Next. Okay. So I told idea. So how do you develop an idea? Okay. So you have to observe around you, whatever things that is happening around you, you have to keep looking. Let's take the example of classic, Ola. Uh, so everybody might be aware of Ola, right? So earlier, what we used to do, we used to take either a bus or an auto, or it's all. It was not very convenient, because when you have to wait for the bus, you have to wait for particular time the bus comes. It is normally always crowded. So there is a very inconvenience associated with this, and people saw that, and they saw that there could be a chance that something like taxi, that you can book at your convenience, and it will take you directly to the spot where you want to go. So you have to keep observing around you and find out what is the thing that you have to work on. Okay. So there might be people or other businesses who might be facing the problem. So let's take Ola. There is one person who's facing the problem, and it's not just one person. Almost everybody is facing the same problem, getting anywhere on time. Okay, so that is a problem that they had chosen. Okay, and how do you solve this problem? Okay, you have to understand the root cause of the problem. How do you understand the root cause of this problem? You discuss it with potential customers. So let's say Ola, I am the customer. Okay, so another person has seen me suffering, getting into the bus, or not able to get an auto, not able to reach any destination on time. So that person saw this problem, and then he asked me, this is a problem. So let's say if there is a service where you can book something, a cab from your phone, and it will take you to the exact location on time. So, I become very interested, if something like that is there. So that is how you talk to a customer, and you understand what is the, if they are excited to get this problem solved. Okay. Then you have to think of different solutions to solve this problem. So, I talked about Ola. So it's not just Ola, who's solving the problem. There are many multiple people who are solving the same problem. Okay, and there are like different ways to solve this problem. Okay, so you have to talk to the customer and find out what are the different ways in which you can solve this problem. And one main, how you can find out what are the problems and what are solutions to the problem is that you find out the companies who are currently working on such a problem, and then you can find out how much profit they are making, all these companies, and what is the difference that you are going to make with your idea, and how it is going to be different from your competitors. So when you compare the companies who are actually working on the problem, you get to know that if there is a market for this problem, and there is going to be profit. If you are able to solve this problem, you are able to make money out of it. And and you have to find out what how much profit they are making, and if you are able to make some different solutions so that you can make more profits than them, or profits equal to them. So this is how you develop an idea. Next slide. Okay. And as I told you, idea, once you have a set of ideas, you have to do this exercise. Okay. You have to find out whether the idea is feasible. Okay. So you should be able to acquire people who are having skills and resources, skills required to solve that idea. So let's say, again, I can take the example of Ola. So Ola is built on an app. So, there should be people who will be able to develop an app. There should be drivers who should be able to drive. There should be a car or auto that people should be able to drive. So the resources are needed, skills are needed. Okay, so you should be able to find out whether you will be able to afford having such resources, and you will be able to afford the skills required for this uh, required to develop this idea. Then it should be sustainable. So sustainability means that it should be economically viable. Economically viable means you should be able to make money out of it and also survive. It's not like you sell something for 10 rupees and you are making just 10 paise profit out of it. You are not going to survive. So it should be sustainable. You should make enough profit so that you can keep giving salaries and keep expanding your company. Okay, so that also you have to take care of, and it should be timely. So I already explained right time for the market. And so currently medical devices, it's the right time to start anything on medical devices, because there is a lot of government support, there is a lot of interest from external people, since problems in the China, we are going to be one of the main hubs for manufacturing later on. So it's this is the right time for the medical devices industry in India, and also it should be the right time for you also. So let's say if you are, you have just started your engineering, and you have an idea and you feel that, let's drop engineering and start working on that. You have to have that, some skill to actually start working on that idea. So, it should also be at the right time for you, after you have completed your BTech. And it's always good that, you have some experience from working in some company, because otherwise you will spend time and money and learn many things when you're doing your startup, and it is going to consume a lot of time and money. So better not do that. Get experience from some other companies and then start your own company. Okay, then it should be desirable. So desirable in the sense that it should be, you should be very excited to do work on this idea. In terms of you're spending a lot of time and money on this, so it should be worth it. Okay, next slide. Yeah. So how do you develop an idea? Okay, you have to analyze the industry landscape. Okay, so what you can do, as I told you, you have to find out what are the other people who are working on the same idea, and you have to find out, if there is enough opportunity to scale and make profit. So that you can do by just comparing whatever other companies are working on the same idea as yours. Then so it also gives the competitive, you have to find out the competitive landscape. So it gives, it refines your business model. It allows you to develop your business model, and it also, helps you in comparing and finding out what is not there currently, and how you can improve so that your idea becomes better. Next slide. Next slide. Okay, so I told you about the market. Okay, so market, it doesn't mean that you are the first person to, make something and you're the first person to sell something. It needn't be that. It is, very risky if you're the first person to make and sell something, because then, nobody knows that whether anybody is going to buy the, whatever product you're making. So it's always good that, there are enough people, or, at least 2 or 3 people who are already working on the idea, and, they are in the market and making profit. So this is some kind of model which I've showed you. There are different models like winner takes all. So 1 or 2 companies like Google or Amazon, you cannot compete with Google or Amazon. So let's not, think of something like that. Then there is like a winner takes most, something like, Netflix, Prime, Disney. So, their customers are divided among, all these startups. So now, there is something called fragmented. There are no person actually owns the market. There are like different players. Like so, retail is one of the examples for that. Reliance, DMart, and all. So nobody actually owns the business. There is fragmented. It is fragmented. So here thing is that it's always good to winner takes most, or fragmented market is the best to enter into the market, because it's an established market, and it is you will somehow make profit, even not too much. Okay. Now talking about market size. So market size is something that you can look it up in Google and find out. So it is basically based on growth rate. Okay, so how many customers are going to increase every year? So your company's market size is how many customers are there currently, and how much it is going to increase every year. So that is called market size. Next. Okay. So once you have done, so all this whatever I've told you is the homework that you have to do. Okay. So once you know this is the idea that I am going to work on, this is the special, difference from other competitors. How my idea is different from other competitors. So this is, there's always a market for that. It is, that market is a highly growing market. So anything, in 10 about $10 billion. So medical market, startups, anything about $10 billion is a good market. Okay, you are going to make a lot of money if you are in that $10 billion market. But any medical devices, it is anyway going to be not 10 is the minimum, so it is above $100 billion. So it's a huge market, medical device market. Okay. Yeah. So once you know all this, you have to refine your idea. And how do you refine your idea? You have to talk to industry experts, people who have already, worked in the industry for many years. You have to talk to them and understand whether this will work. Okay. You also have to talk to your customers, potential customers. Okay. And also to business experts. Then you have to finalize the idea. So idea can be either a product or a service. So product, example is your ECG machine, and services, your apps like Practo, or any other app. So that is a service, and product is if you have something, some kind of a device. Okay, so you have to finalize on that. So problem with service is that it is you won't be able to make too much profit if you're in the service business. Okay, there is like a subscription. You might be knowing people take subscription, so it's not a very huge growth market if you are on in the service market. But product, once you sell it, then you get money right out of it. So it's a very safe kind of a thing to have a product. Okay, next thing. Okay. So now we talked about idea. Now, once you have the idea, you have to, start working on the idea. Then for that you require funding. Then you require, what product or service you're going to make, how you'll be making money, how you'll be, selling it to customers. So all this is part of something called the business plan. Okay. Business plan is basically the execution strategy for your startup. Next slide. Okay. So there is something called business model canvas. So if you would have attended any other talks before, you might be aware of. Okay. So there are like different segments for this business model canvas. Basically, business model canvas is the painting of your, startup. So whatever is there in your brain, it should come out, and you should be able to explain that to any potential investor or customer. Okay. So that is called the business model canvas. So business model canvas has different segments. So I'll just highlight the important things from this. So one is the customer segment. So as I told you, first basics. There should be somebody who will be buying your product or service. Okay, so those are the customers. So you have to find out the customer segment. So let's take an example of let's say ECG machine. Okay, so ECG machines, your customers will be hospitals. And let's say you have made a miniaturized ECG machine or a small sensor that can be fit into a wristband or your smartwatch. Okay, then your target customer is going to be a person, household, normal individual. So that you have to find out. So there are like many customer segments. So there you might be aware of, you might have heard about B2B. So B2B is from business to business. So if you're selling an ECG machine, you are selling to another hospital, which is also business. So it is a B2B, segment. So there is something called B2C. Now the smartwatch ECG sensor which I told, that is going to be again it could be a B2B if you're selling that sensor to Apple, or Motorola or some, Samsung. But if you are making the watch, the smartwatch, and selling it yourself to the end user who could be a individual, then it is called B2C. Okay, yeah. So now value proposition. So you have to show what is the value that your product or service is providing. So let's take the example of a miniaturized, ECG electrode, and let's say you are selling a smart band with a smartwatch with capability of detecting ECG real time. Okay. So what is the value that your product or service is providing? So you can do a real time, detection of heart rate. So it is very much useful for people who are having cardiac problems. Okay, so that is the value that you are bringing. You are able to bring early uh, detection of a heart attack or something. Okay, so that is the value that you are adding to a normal smartwatch. Okay, so that value you have to highlight. Now, channels is how you will reach the customer. So if you are selling the smartwatch with the capability of ECG capturing, then you'll be selling it through Amazon, Flipkart, or something. So those are your channels. Or let's say if you are selling an ECG machine, then you are selling it to a hospital. So medical device distributors will be your channels to reach your customers. Okay. So customer relationship. Now, you have to understand what is the customer relationship that you want to have. So as I told you, it is based on whether it is B2B or B2C. So if it is, B2C, you might give some discounts, and more people will buy your device. So that is, some customer relationship that you have to maintain. Next slide. Yeah. So revenue stream. So back to basics, how you will make money. Okay. So revenue streams, it could be, as I told you, if it is you're selling that smart watch, then revenue will be by sale of the device. Okay. Now let's say you are selling the ECG machine, then revenue will be from, first you will be selling the ECG machine, then there are different electrodes and that gel, ECG gel and all that. So there are different consumables also associated with that. So that are your revenue streams. So device, your consumables. So from all this, you are going to make money. Okay. Now, key resources. So what are the resources that is required to run your business? So let's take the example of ECG machine again. So resources will be, you will be requiring engineers to make the ECG machine. You will require, salespeople to sell the machine. Then you require service engineers. If there are any, any problems with the machine, you require service engineers. Not just that, then you require. So if you're selling it through, let's take the example of smart watch, then you are selling it through Amazon or Flipkart. Then resources is then you have to have a contract with Amazon or Flipkart to sell your device. So all these are like key resources that is required to uh, keep your business running. So you will require a lot of consumables like electronics and all. You'll have to buy from other people and then make your device. Then you require a space, office where you can sit and work. You require a manufacturing setup to make these devices. So all these are called key resources. Okay. And key activities, again, you have to tell what all are the things that you would do in your startup. So it could be, you're just making the, device and, just the design or just the engineering part you're doing, then somebody will manufacture it and somebody else will be selling. So you have to tell, what you're doing currently. So it could be only R&D, then or else it could be R&D, manufacturing, sales, service, everything you are doing it yourself. So all that has to be specified in this business model canvas. Next slide. Next slide. Yes. So again, key partnership, I told you, the vendors or, hospitals who will be buying your device or people, the device distributors who will be selling it to the hospital. Okay. Then cost structure, again, you have to back to basics. What is, how much money you're going to spend, how much, will the device cost, how much you're going to spend on HR, how much you're going to spend on your office. So all this has to be part of a business model canvas. Next slide. Okay. Now, this is one main important thing, startup. Okay, startup, it doesn't run, if you are a single person, there's always a team who's associated with the startup. So it's always a combined effort and, you have to choose your team wisely. Next slide. Okay. So your team will consist of, first thing that you have to do is you cannot register a company single-handedly. You have to find a co-founder. Okay. So co-founder can be your family member also if they are able to help you and run the business. But it is very important that you have a team of people who will be running the startup. Okay. So this team members should have complementary skill sets. So if you are from a biomedical engineering field, then you should have somebody from electronics background, somebody with computer science background, somebody with business background. So all these skills are required to run a company. Then other than that, you can also have advisors who would be like industry leaders and all that. Then you have to have a lawyer, you have to have a company secretary, chartered accountant. Okay. And whenever, before starting the company, you have to have a formal agreement with all these people. Like with founders, you have to have founders agreement. With people, other employees, you should have employment agreement and non-disclosure agreement with advisors and other people who are helping you. Next. Okay. So once all this is set, now it is time for you to make, ask investors for some money. So you can also be your first investor, but medical devices definitely requires a lot of money. So it's better that you get investors to fund your idea and startup. Okay. So now pitch deck. So whatever I have said so far, now all that and now you have to make it into a concise form and show it to an investor and make them interested in your startup and give you money. Okay, so that is where the pitch deck helps. So whenever you are talking to an investor, they'll ask you for a pitch deck, an investor or any competitions or anywhere. So pitch deck is the most first and foremost important thing that you have to make when you are, even before starting your startup. Yeah. Next slide. Okay. So what all does a pitch deck have? Okay, pitch deck will have introduction to your startup. Okay, about your team members, about what your vision, your mission. So all that is in the introduction. Okay, then you have to explain on what problems your startup is aiming to solve. Okay, so let's take the example of smartwatch again. So normal smartwatches doesn't have any capability of real-time ECG detection, but your smartwatch has an additional feature which will allow people to detect a cardiac arrest earlier, and which is life-saving. So you can highlight the problem is that currently so many deaths are occurring all of a sudden because cardiac arrest. There we are not able to understand on even the cardiac arrest for a person. Okay, that could be the problem. Now solution. So what is your solution? That you are having a smartwatch with enhanced capability of detecting real-time ECGs. Okay, and then you have to show what is the size of the market. Okay, so market size, I think cardiac market size would be somewhere around 50-60 billion dollars. Okay, so that is your market size, and opportunity is that opportunity is that everybody will buy your smartwatch and use it. Okay, so it's a huge market, and every year it might be growing at a rate of let's say 20% it is growing. Okay, so that is your opportunity. Now you have to also show a clear description of your startup product and service. So it's always good to have a photo of your any reference photo will also do. Just show the photo of your product which you are planning to build. Okay, then you should then show that so this is the price of my product. In maybe in 2 years time I'll start selling the product. Then these many people will buy. Let's say 100 people will buy in the first year. Then I'll make this much revenue and this much profit. Then second year 200 people will buy. Then I'll make this much revenue, this much profit. So all that has to be part of your pitch deck. Okay, and then you have to show what are your major goals. So to sell in for 200 customers in first year, 200 customers in second year. So that is your major goal, and then you can say that you're not just limited to this ECG real-time monitor. You are going to build other products also. Okay, so that is your future steps. Then you have to, as I told you, your core team members have to be introduced and highlighted, and you have to highlight what are their skill sets. Okay, so these many years in this industry, so all that you have to highlight. Then you have to define your competitor. Okay, so as I told you, people who are having the same product as you, then you have to show that these many people are having, these many companies are working on the same solution. This is the product that they have, and this is the product you have, and this is the difference between these two products. Okay, then you have to prove your financial planning and management ability. Okay, so as I told you, the financial projections, this much money you will make in this much time. So that you have to highlight. Then last you have to tell that these many funds I require, and I'll be using it for to do this work. So let's say product development. If you give me 50 lakhs, I'll develop the product. So that is called you have to ask for how much money is required and for what work it will be used. Next slide. Okay. So as I told you, this is the most important thing. Without any money, any capital, you won't be able to make anything, or you won't be able to sell anything. Okay. So this is the main fuel for your startup. Next. Okay. So there are different kinds of funding. So as I told you, first is self-funding, whatever pocket money, whatever money you have, you put it in your startup. So it's called bootstrapping, but you cannot do when you are a student. Maybe after 10, 20 years of working, you can bootstrap your own startup. Okay. Okay. So there is something called equity funding. So that is the most popular kind of funding. So your company, so if it is a private limited company, it has a lot of shares. So you sell the share and get funding which is equivalent to these shares. So it is called equity funding. Okay. Then you have government grants. So grants is you don't have to give any equity or anything. Government will give you this much money, and you have to show that you will do this much work with whatever work you are planning to complete with the money that you receive. So that is a government grant. So it's given by government. It's given by big corporate institutes. Then many incubators also give grants. Okay. Then there are business loans which you get from banks, investors, incubators. Better to not take the loans if you're not able to. It will be difficult if you are not able to pay it back. So early uh, stage startups, it's always good to get grants. So government has a lot of the Startup India scheme and all this there. So there is a lot of funding currently from the government. There is a lot of help from the government. Next slide. Okay. So, first, the person who believes in you, your family and your friends. Okay, you can get funds from family or friends, or you can also get funds from incubators. So, incubators are, uh, early stage startups. So, I am actually part of a incubator called Venture Center in Pune. So they do give funding, they give you help in terms of, connecting to industry leaders and all that. They also have, a facility where you can put your office, and they also have research facility, so you can keep doing your R&D work also there. So there are many, incubators currently like that. IIT Madras has an incubator, and I think many institutes have incubators currently. Then accelerators are something that come at the later stage when you are about to enter the market. Your device, everything is ready, and you just want to make money after entering the market. Then accelerators help you by giving connects to potential customers and all that. Then there is angel investors. So these people also put money at the initial stages. You have to give them shares, and then they'll give you money. Then also venture capitalists is there. So these people also give you. So venture capitalists and all will give you a large amount of money. So it's better that you are at a later stage, so that you can charge more money for the share that you sell. Okay. Then banks, I told you, they give loans. Next. Okay. So I already told you about the role of the incubator. So incubators can give you funding. They help in refining your businesses. They help by providing office spaces, amenities for running your business. Then they also give you access to vendors, investors, and industry leaders. Okay. So this is, to get funding. One is, apply for government grants. So, very popular government grants are by like BIG. The call is active currently. And then you have DST, DD funding is there. So that's also another grant. Then Tamil Nadu government has a seed fund, which is around 50 lakhs. Then there are like different incubators who would also can give you grants. Okay. Then you can approach these government or any other incubator with a business plan, which we already discussed. Okay, it involves a selection process. Then you might have to give equity, some shares for getting funding from them. You can also, approach angel investors, or you can approach banks to get funding. Next slide. Okay, so this is, most important thing. It is very easy to, have an idea, and you will feel that, it's going to work out. But, it is very important that you do a self-analysis before you start anything, because it is very hard to, you will have to work without money. You'll have to spend a number of hours. It's not just 9 to 6, working timing. It's like all round the clock you'll have to work. So you should be able to, willing to learn new things. You should be willing to take risk. One should be adaptable. So adaptable is like, maybe you have to shift your a business in between if you feel that it's not working out. Then you should be passionate enough to pursue your dream. So all this is very important, and you have to do a self analysis before you start your company. Next slide. Yes. So as I told you, you know, if you have all this in you, if your self-analysis, if you pass your self-analysis, then you shouldn't wait for anybody. You should not, you should let your dreams fly high. Okay. Now, so about the product market fit, which was the topic. So I told you it is, idea, and you have to talk to customers, industry leaders, and industry experts to find out whether your idea is going to work. Okay, so that's the most important thing. So what happens is when most startups, they start with the idea without talking to anybody, and in the middle of the, work, they find out that it is not going to work out. So that is the worst possible thing that can happen. So it's always good to, do a lot of homework before you start anything. Okay, and that is by talking to customers and industry experts. Yeah, so I am done with my presentation, and if anybody has any doubts, I'm open to questions.
Students, if you have any queries, you can ask now. You can enable your mics and you can ask now.
Ma'am,
Hello, yeah.
ma'am, what is the hardest part of being an entrepreneur, ma'am?
What is the?
Ma'am, what is the
I
hardest
didn't
part of
get your
being an
question.
entrepreneur? Ma'am, what is the hardest part of
Everything
being
is
an
hard
entrepreneur, ma'am?
because yeah, yeah. So I told you everything is hard. So I think the easiest part is having the idea. Rest everything is hard. So you should not be focusing on the hardships, because it's not just the startup that has hardships. Even if you're working in any company, any work that you do, it is hard. So it depends on how what is the level of uh, you know uh, of your perseverance. Yeah.
Ma'am, how do you deal with fears and doubts, ma'am, being an entrepreneur?
Pardon, I didn't get you.
Ma'am, how do you deal with fears and doubts?
Uh, Downs and
Fears, ma'am.
uh, peers, like friends, peers. What you're asking?
Ma'am, fears and doubts, ma'am. How do you deal with fears and doubts, ma'am, to start a business?
So Mohan Sundar, fears. Fear.
Yes, ma'am.
Acha, acha. Okay, 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 okay. Yeah. So, you see, you don't have to be fearful. So, if you fear everything, we won't be able to, progress. So, keep the fear and all apart. If you have an idea, first thing is that, you get it validated by talking to industry experts. People who are in the field for 20, 30 years, they would have seen everything. Okay. And if you tell that this is my idea, they'll be able to guide you, and if it is not going to work, they'll tell you right away. But don't just talk to one person. If there is a, you have an idea, then you have to talk to at least 10 different industry experts, and then if let's say 6 people say it might work and it is okay, then you should pursue that. But if less than 5 people say that it is going to work and you can pursue, then not don't go ahead with that.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
Ma'am, I'm Raj and I'm currently pursuing my third year medical electronics, ma'am.
Okay.
At the same time, I wish to set up. At the same time, I wish to start a startup, ma'am. So, what
Okay.
type of fundings would you prefer me, ma'am?
Yeah, so as I told you, you have to, you can start with applying to competitions. So, IIT Bombay competition is there, SINIT, Eureka, there is one competition, then ECEL, IIT Madras also has. So you have to look into, if you search in Google, startup competitions for students, there'll be like 10 competitions that will come up. So you can start with that because, there then you are not just applying for a competition. You can also refine your pitch deck. There'll be a lot of people who will be mentoring you to make your idea, refine your idea. So, it's always good to start with that.
Okay, ma'am.
Student
Thank you, ma'am.
entrepreneurship competitions. Yeah, welcome.
Okay, ma'am.
Then you can also apply to different hackathons are also there. So that also you can check and you can apply to.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Okay, ma'am. I'm a final year medical electronics student, ma'am. What would be the right time to set a startup, ma'am? That is, after completing my UG, I can set up my startup, or I can have my PGs and I can set up the startup, ma'am. Because as you have said, within 7 to 8 years, India will be the medical hub, no, ma'am. So, what would be the right time to set up the
Yeah.
startup, ma'am?
Yeah. Yeah, so it doesn't matter, if you do PG, UG. Main thing that matters is you have to have some industry, experience. So whatever you learn in UG, PG, it's just book knowledge. Okay, you cannot put it to practice. So it's always important that you work in some company and get some, idea of how a company works, and then you can, you are good to go.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Welcome.
Any more queries? So if you have any queries, you can ask now, or else we'll wind up the session with a vote of thanks.
One more question. Hello. Ma'am?
Yes, Jivita.
Ma'am, even though we select a demanding product, it gets failed. So how to prevent and overcome a product failure, ma'am?
Yeah, so so it's not like all the products fail. Out of 100 products, some 2 or 3 might fail. It's as I told you, it's very important that you understand the customer and make products that they require. Okay, so it just all sometimes what happens is that we are so much happy that we have an idea and we feel that it is going to solve a lot of problems, but finally it will end up to be not useful to a customer. So it is very important that you understand the customer, talk to that person and understand what the problems they are facing. Not just one person, you have to talk at least to the 100 customers before you start pursuing your idea.
Okay, thank you, students. Now we'll wind up the session with a vote of thanks.
No duty is more important than that of returning thanks. Now I call upon Miss Amina Mafasa of final year MDE to deliver the vote of thanks.
Today, take this opportunity to put all my gratitude into words. I sincerely thank Almighty God for making today's session a resounding success. With His blessings and grace, we are able to make this event what it was. I am immensely thankful to our beloved Secretary and Correspondent Thiru S.T. Chandrasekhar Sir and our respected Principal Dr. M. Jayaraman Sir for being the catalyst that stimulated us to do our best and standing as pillar of strength. With deep sense of gratitude, I thank our respected Dean Professor P. Jayachandra Sir and Controller of Examination Dr. K. R. Valluvan Sir for their continuous encouragement and support. I express my sincere thanks to our respected Head of the Department Dr. V. Chandrasekhar Sir for motivating us in all our activities. I extend my profound thanks to our distinguished Chief Guest Ms. Jilma Peruvangat, Founder and CEO Kozhnosys Private Limited, who made this session an informative one. I also extend my thanks to all the HODs, faculties and coordinators of IIC, EDC and BMESI for their presence. I would also like to thank the people who worked behind the scene to make this event happen. I once again thank everyone for gracing this session. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And it was a wonderful session, and I loved interacting with everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much. Thank you, students all. So you can fill the feedback form and you can leave the meeting. Thank you all.
Okay. Thank you, and all the best to everyone. Okay. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.